It finally looks like Apple is ready to shock everyone. The iPhone 18 Pro Max, Apple's future ultra flagship that fans have been waiting on for years, is rumored to drop a feature the company has spent almost a decade refining. On paper, it sounds crazy. But if Apple pulls this off, it could go down as one of the smartest, boldest decisions in iPhone history. And it's only the beginning of what the iPhone 18 Pro series is bringing. Because alongside this controversial change, we're looking at a complete redesign of the display, new camera controls, next-gen performance, faster charging, serious durability upgrades, and a long-term roadmap that shows exactly where Apple wants to take the iPhone next. If you think you already know everything about the iPhone 18 Pro Max, think again. This is not just another small S-style update. This is Apple quietly preparing for a new era of all-screen, AI-driven, camera-centric smartphones. Let's start with the upgrade you'll notice the second you pick it up. The front of the phone. Multiple leaks and industry insiders are now pointing to Apple finally moving Face ID completely under the display on the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max. That means no more giant notch, no more pill-shaped cutout, and no more dynamic island floating at the top of your screen. Instead, Apple is reportedly going for a nearly uninterrupted edge-to-edge display with only a small punch hole cutout for the front camera dock, so you'd have a clean, almost bezel-less front panel, under-display Face ID sensors that you literally can't see, plus a tiny punch hole for the selfie camera. It's the kind of design Android users have enjoyed in some form for years, but this time with Apple's signature polish and Face ID security baked in. And this isn't just some random rumor from an anonymous forum post. Well-known display. Analyst Ross Young and other reliable supply chain sources are backing these iPhone 18 Pro Max leaks. That gives this design shift a lot more credibility than the usual wish list speculation we see every year. For Apple, the move is huge. Remember, the company has spent years turning the notch into the dynamic island and making it a core part of the iPhone experience. They've redesigned notifications, media controls, live activities, and more around it. They've shrunk it over time. They've marketed it heavily. Now, Apple seems ready to walk away from that very visible design. Signature and bury Face ID under the screen. This would be the biggest visual overhaul to the iPhone front since Face ID first arrived back in 2017. Android manufacturers have experimented with under-display cameras and nearly bezel-less phones for a while, but often with compromises in image quality or brightness. Apple's strategy is different. They typically wait, watch, and then jump in when they feel the tech is mature enough to deliver premium performance without obvious trade-offs. So when the iPhone 18 Pro Max arrives with an under-display Face ID system and a punch-hole camera, you can expect Apple to market it as a revolutionary, only on iPhone moment, the most immersive iPhone display ever, the most advanced Face ID ever, and the cleanest design Apple has ever shipped. But Apple isn't just changing how the front looks. They're changing how the phone feels to use, especially when it comes to the camera. The iPhone 16 series reportedly introduced a brand new touch-sensitive camera control button with haptic feedback and swipe gestures. On paper, it sounded like a dream for photographers. Half press, full press, swipe to zoom, all with one dynamic button. In reality, it seems it also led to accidental swipes and missed shots for some users. When you're trying to capture a fast moment, you don't want a learning curve getting in the way. With the iPhone 18 Pro Max, Apple is rumored to be simplifying this idea. Instead of a fully gesture-driven touch surface, the company may shift to a more traditional pressure-sensitive input. Think of it like a refined next-generation shutter button. Press lightly to lock focus and exposure. Press harder to capture the photo or start recording video. Clean, predictable, reliable. It's a very Apple. Like move and echoes what happened with 3D Touch. Apple introduced it, experimented with it, and then ultimately replaced it with long press gestures. because most people found the original implementation confusing or inconsistent. With the iPhone 18 Pro Max camera controls, Apple appears to be choosing intuitiveness over complexity again, especially for something as important as capturing photos and video. Speaking of cameras, there's another long-term project Apple is reportedly working on, a true under-display front camera. Not just under-display Face ID, but also an under-display selfie camera that can disappear completely while still producing high-quality images. Now, to be clear, current rumors suggest the iPhone 18 Pro Max may not launch with that fully invisible camera just yet. Instead, we might still see a small punch hole on this generation. But the fact that Apple is actively experimenting with under-display camera technology tells you exactly where they're headed. An iPhone with absolutely no visible cutouts at all, just one continuous glass surface, with all sensors hidden beneath it. For tech enthusiasts, this roadmap is exciting. It hints at a future iPhone where you're literally holding nothing but screen, without sacrificing Face ID, selfie quality, or camera versatility. The iPhone 18 Pro series feels like a major step in that direction. Now, let's talk about that screen in more detail, because the display on the iPhone 18 Pro Max could be one of the main reasons people upgrade. Apple is expected to use advanced A22 OLED panels across the iPhone 18 Pro lineup, with support for adaptive refresh rates up to 120 Hz, similar to, or better than, the promotion technology found on current high-end Apple devices. That means the iPhone 18 Pro Max display will be able to ramp up to super smooth 120 Hz when you're gaming or scrolling, then drop down to very low refresh rates when you're reading static content, saving battery life. Combine that with under-display Face ID and a small punch-hole camera, and you get a display that's not only incredibly fluid, but also visually uninterrupted. No large notch cutting into your videos, no intrusive pill floating over your content. Just an almost full-screen viewing experience. Imagine watching movies, binging your favorite shows, or playing graphics-heavy games on a massive, bright, color-accurate OLED panel with deep blacks, minimal bezels, and ultra-smooth motion. For content lovers, creators, gamers, and everyday users alike, the iPhone 18 Pro Max display alone could feel like a major generation leap. Of course, all that visual goodness needs power, and a lot of it. That's where Apple's next generation chipset comes in. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is rumored to ship with the A22 Bionic chip, Apple's future flagship processor designed for extreme performance and next-level efficiency. Built on an even more advanced manufacturing process than today's chips, the A22 Bionic is expected to bring major improvements in three key areas: CPU performance, GPU power, and on-device AI capability. That means faster app launches, smoother multitasking, and more responsive interfaces. It means console-quality graphics in mobile games with higher frame rates and better efficiency. And it means a huge leap in what the iPhone can do with machine learning, everything from real-time photo and video, enhancement to smarter voice recognition, and personalized suggestions that actually feel useful, thanks to a more efficient architecture and improved battery design. You're not just getting a faster iPhone, you're getting an iPhone that should last longer on a single charge, even with that high refresh rate display and powerful camera system. Apple is reportedly working on denser, longer-lasting battery modules and smarter power management that dynamically adjust performance based on what you're doing. Put simply, the iPhone 18 Pro Max is set up to be one of the most powerful and efficient iPhones Apple has ever made.